Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Joy News. Today, it's 2 days to Joy News' thought leadership on illegal mining. Coming up in this bulletin, new hybrid maize seed set to boost maize production and make Ghana a net exporter of maize. We'll tell you more on that effort to improve the production of grain as Ghana celebrates its gallant farmers across the country today for their immense contribution to feeding the citizens and ensuring food security. Also, Ministry of Education insists reporting date for first-year student remains 4th December, in spite of the Speaker of Parliament earlier directive and invitation of the Education Minister to reverse the course.
The directive from the Ministry of Education is and has always been, as indicated on their placement results, that reopening and the academic calendar that has already been issued out, that reopening remains on the 4th of December.
And we'll later take you on a tour of the Mole National Park in case you're short of ideas on where to spend your Farmers' Day holiday and you happen to find yourself somewhere in the Savannah region. We have a special report as the EU ambassador steps in to support and give a facelift to the park. We have details plus business, sports, world news, and more all in this hour. Stay with us. Now, a new maize hybrid seed introduced by King's Seed is set to improve maize production in Ghana from the current 2.5 to 3 million metric tons to 10 million metric tons per hectare. Director of Seeds Operations at King's Seed, Maruthi Prasanna, at a brief inspection of a maize demonstration farm at Sika near Nkranza, said the new variety has what it takes to increase farmers' yield and make Ghana a net exporter of maize in the coming years. And Asabit has more in the following report.
The new hybrid maize seed introduced by King's Seeds, a subsidiary of Kingdom Exim, has the capacity to increase the country's present yield per hectare of 2 to 3 million metric tons to up to 10 million metric tons or more. Maruti Prasanna is the director of seeds operation at King's Seeds.
Today, if you see the maize in Ghana, the average yields are around 2.5 to 2.7 metric tons per hectare. So we realized that there is no very good seed available in Ghana to increase the average yields. So we brought in hybrid seed from India through King Seeds and planted both in Ghanaian method where there is less population and also with high population. And we, after 2 months or 3 months, we can see that in the high population, we see the yields can be close to 10 metric tons or more than that. The performance of the hybrids doesn't change with high population. More the population, more the yield. And we can see our vision is to see a happy, smiling farmer.
Maruti Prasanna is optimistic that the new variety of seeds, well aside the improvement of the finances of the local farmers, also help in making Ghana a net exporter of maize in the coming years.
If you see, Ghana is a net importing country, means what is produced in Ghana may not be enough to feed the people. So now when more and more farmers adopt our seeds, Ghana will become a net exporting country. That will mean a lot of foreign currency will come into the country. So Ghana can export to the neighboring countries after feeding their population, the people, as well as the animals.
Bono East Regional Director of Agriculture, James Adu, who was part of a team of experts to inspect a demonstration farm in Sika, stated that the new variety is capable of helping boost the region's maize production, which is in line with government's Planting for Food and Jobs Phase 2 program, which allows farmers to choose from the various maize varieties in the market.
With this high yield, per the figures we are getting, if it's going to give us that some year, then when we promote it, it will creep our maize production. It will increase the maize production, especially yield productivity per acre. So once the productivity improves, then it means we are going to get more food. And with the PFJ2, the Planting for Food and Job Phase 2 that is coming, that is where government is targeting.
Chairman Francis is a farmer whose farm was used for the demonstration of the two seeds, Spring 26 and Tamer 02. He explained that the new King's hybrid seeds will help farmers in the area in terms of yield, and asked that it is easy to plant compared to the existing local seeds.
Last year, we had a local. Now, few way now here, omodia when I mean, dear, Fise, when you send look at an immediate dano. Just say, he diano, ne matayano, a batama will do. I feel in a moment, who calls some say no boom crown out to say a good be a woman, is sa. A man I walk on a dorsal sene, first again and Diano.
Producers of the new King's seeds are, however, optimistic that the new variety is the best option for commercial and small farming because of its high yield potential. Anna Sabit, Joy News, Sika, Indian Kranza North District.
Now, Actor 10 politician and farmer John Dumelo has told young farmers to forget the government's Planting for Food and Jobs initiative if they want their farms to thrive. Speaking on the AM show a while ago, the Ayawaso West parliamentary candidate hopeful said as far as the livelihood of farmers are concerned, prevailing times are not favorable to farmers. Agriculturists, for that matter, must rise up and take charge of agri matters in the country to secure their future, insisting the government's Planting for Food and Job program will not do them any good if they were to rely on that. He was speaking on the back of Farmers' Day commemoration.
The same challenges that all the farmers are sharing is what I'm also about to share. I mean, the prices have gone up astronomically, but I think what drives most of us is passion. What drives most of us is the fact that people have to eat, and the food has to come from somewhere, and the food has to come from a farmer. And we believe in Ghana, and so most of the time our passion drives us. But I think there's a limit to where the passion is going to get to one day. Like Anthony said, the prices are changing every day. Between last year and this year, yes, I've increased my acreage. I've increased the number of things I'm doing in terms of agriculture, but all because I have passion, all because I know that one day it's going to be fine, and all because I know that if we don't take charge as Ghanaians, if we don't take charge of our agricultural industry, things are going to be pretty messed up in the next few years. And so things are bad, but we are still holding on. The only support system I've gotten is prayers from from myself, prayers from everybody else. And I haven't had any support. I remember when I used to do a lot of maize, and I still do a lot of maize up north, around the Wale Wale area. And I remember, I think I shared the story once where my farm manager said, he wants to go and apply for this Planting for Food and Jobs, fertilizer, blah blah, and he was told point blank that number one, it's not available. Number two, you need certain connections before you get it. And so for me, I've totally forgotten about the Planting for Food and Jobs incentives. If people want their farms to thrive, I think people should just really forget about the Planting for Food and Jobs, incentives. Because one, it's going to be a long process to get the fertilizers. Two, even if you get it, you're going to get it in small quantities, which is okay. I mean, because, the fertilizers are probably a limited quantity and everybody has to get it. But I think for most of us, we haven't had any support whatsoever when it comes to Planting for Food and Jobs.
So John Dumelo is the parliamentary candidate of the NDC for the Ayawaso West Wogon constituency. Now, speaking on the same show, agri-economist Anthony Morrison called for more investment in Ghana's agri sector in order to ensure food security.
Look at the budgetary allocation for the agriculture sector, 700 million cedis. That is a drop in the ocean. You can't use such a budget for 2024 to begin to strategize for the agriculture sector. Secondly, Benjamin, we cannot continue to announce, ban national agriculture food strategy without any proper packed financing mechanism, any proper infrastructure. Look, we just think of the idea and we rush the media to announce. Of what use when you do not have the funds to back it? So it's very critical we should begin to deepen the discussion from where we are. And you know, Ben, look at the paragraph 324 of the budget. Ghana $300 million of pepper in this country, where we are actually looking for jobs for our teeming youth, where there are a lot of youth unemployed, where the likes of John have employed several youth on his farm and in the value chain, processing, adding value in the market. And we are still importing $300 million plus of pepper. The cost of post-harvest losses on Ghana's grains and cereal industry is well over $1.7 billion annually. And we can continue to do that.
Okay.
We need to be serious with these food systems and how we can continue to secure Ghana's food security going forward.
Now, still on the Farmers' Day, former President and NDC flag bearer John Dramani Mahama says the National Democratic Congress is dedicated to bringing back the job farming and revolutionizing the agricultural sector. In a tweet shared on his Twitter page, the X page, the former president said, quote, "We aim to achieve food self-sufficiency through a policy that supports large-scale commercial agricultural production. This will be propelled by a robust cooperative system that will benefit from farmers' service centers established nationwide to drive access to agricultural credit and input. We will introduce agro-processing unit in all regions to add value to agricultural product and create more opportunities for farmers. Establishing agricultural processing plant will target crops such as palm, cashew, groundnut, cotton, coffee, cocoa, soya, cassava, shea nuts, cereals, ginger, spices, cut flowers, fruit, and horticultural products," unquote. He signed with the hashtags "Let's Build Ghana Together," "The Ghana We Want," and hashtag "Together for Change 2024. Now, the Golden Star Wasa Limited says it is determined to support farmers in its operational areas to help achieve the Sustainable Development Goal 2 of ending hunger in all of its forms by 2030. The company says it has thus put in measures to support farmers through its Sustainable Livelihood Development Project. This was revealed by the VP MD of the company, Shadrach Ajete Soa, during the presentation of agricultural items to support the 2023 Farmers' Day celebration. According to him, the support is a testament of the company's commitment of helping to build a strong relationship with its host communities for the betterment of all parties.
As a developing partner, Golden Star Resources continues to provide agricultural inputs to the district assemblies as part of our corporate social responsibility initiatives. In alignment with the government's efforts to enhance food security in the country, GSR continuously seeks to empower and support all farmers in its catchment communities in agricultural programs under the Sustainable Alternative Livelihood Projects in the areas of vegetable farming, poultry, piggery, grass cutting, and rabbit rearing to elevate the quality of life of our people, delivering smart solutions for sustainable food security and resilience, underscore our collective responsibility to transition from subsistence agriculture to a business-oriented approach. This shift will not only enhance nutrition, health, and economic gains, but also promote value chain development and entrepreneurship. Ladies and gentlemen, it brings me great joy to inform you that Golden Star Resources, as part of its commitment to fostering positive relations with its host communities, signed 3 MOUs with catchment communities in 2019, with one of them being relationship and sustainable livelihood. This means the company is actively working towards transforming agriculture within its catchment by ensuring its sustainability and promoting entrepreneurship.
He wants district assemblies within which they operate to help them identify more agricultural interventions for the sustainable development of the areas.
I also appeal to the Western District Assemblies to continue supporting and collaborating with Golden Star Resources to identify more agribusinesses interventions that will highly be impactful, result-focused, and sustainable in improving agricultural productivity in the communities. In conclusion, I would like to thank you all for your presence today.
Now to other stories. The Ministry of Education is insisting that the reporting date for first-year students remains 4th December 2023, in spite of concerns raised by parents, teachers, and members of Parliament. The Speaker of Parliament yesterday directed the Education Minister, Dr. Yao Seduchum, to appear before the House on the matter. This follows concerns raised by parent, teacher unions, and members of Parliament. Now let's listen to a ranking on the Education Committee, Peter Nochukoto.
I want to, on your behalf, direct the Media Relations Department to issue a statement along this line immediately. The attention of Parliament has been drawn to the sudden directive of the Ministry of Education for the resumption of academic year coming Monday, 4th December 2023. The House calls on and urges the Minister of Education to reconsider the directive by the Ministry of Education to students and authorities, including teaching and non-teaching staff, to resume academic work on Monday, 4th December 2023. The House proposes for the consideration of the Ministry the first week of January 2023 for the resumption of academic work in these schools. The Minister of Education is directed to thereafter brief the House on Monday, 4th December 2023 on the matter. The House further calls on parents, teachers, non-teaching staff, and students to keep calm until the matter is resolved by the House. This should be the contents of the release.
But the Education Ministry insists the reporting date is still the 4th of December, but parents and students have options. Kwesi Kwarteng is the PR of the ministry.
The directive from the Ministry of Education is and has always been, as indicated on their placement results, that reopening and the academic calendar that has already been issued out, that reopening remains on the 4th of December. Yes, Monday they are going to, but they are saying that it is not as though if you do not go, you are going to lose your slot.
Okay.
People will have to go, acclimatize,
all right,
begin registration process, get their textbooks, get themselves ready for the academic process.
Let's now bring in Peter Nochukoto, a ranking member on the Education Committee in Parliament, who says the G is adamant to change the reopening date is disrespectful to the Speaker of Parliament. He spoke to me earlier.
Listen to the public very well. You will hear or know, even before the statement I made yesterday and the Speaker's directive, that the public is against the 4th December resumption or reporting day for the students. Teachers or teacher unions have also expressed saying that they are being overworked. They are not resting at all. So this month of December should be made free for them to enable them a rest and then assume or resume academic work in January. That is what they're asking for. Now, you made placement on Tuesday. Then on Monday, you want them to go to school. They go and spend just about 2 weeks with the risk that is involved at this time of the year. when we are entering the Christmas festivities. So why don't you allow them, parents, to settle them, get enough money, buy their items for them, then first week in January, they report to school. Then again, there are placement challenges that must be resolved. You have not resolved them. About 108,000 candidates are yet to be placed. So why are you in a hurry to make them go to school on the 4th or this Monday? That is what we are saying. It is as simple as that. If you are saying that you have given a directive and there will be no change, why are you making it so difficult for parents and the teachers to acclimatize or get themselves in readiness to do a proper academic work?
Okay.
So for me, the refusal of the ministry to listen to the speaker is also disrespect to the House, which must not be tolerated.
Let's still stay in the education sector, because the education ministry is saying that the interest of students to pursue technical and vocational education in Ghana has increased tremendously. Deputy Minister for Education, Gifty Ampofuchum, said enrollment figures for TVET in 2022 have gone up from 17,000 to a little over 50,000 students. Maize Ampofuchum was speaking at a media engagement forum on industry and skills development in Accra. My colleague Jacqueline Ansumaya has more.
Africa, and for that matter, Ghana, needs skilled and competent workforce such as artisans and technicians to fill the skills gap of the various sectors of the economy. Deputy Minister for Education, TVET, Gifty Ampofuchum, revealed that the interest shown by students has increased over the years, and it signifies a significant growth in the TVET industry.
Enrollment in TVET second institutions has increased drastically. As of 2016, it was about 17,000. It went up slowly as we were doing the advocacy. But at this point that we have had the Act 1023 and Act 1049, where all TVET institutions and the government, which were under different ministries, 19 of them, are now under the Ministry of Education. I'm glad to say that numbers has increased from 17,000 to a little above 50,000, minus this year, because this year we've just started school placement and we can't talk of those year's numbers. But the warming news is, gone are the days where you have aggregate 6, 26, 30, 40, 45 opting for TVET. Now we have aggregate 6, aggregate 8, aggregate 12 students opting for TVET, because TVET is not for second choice, but it is the ultimate to reduce youth unemployment and to promote economic development.
Director General of CTVET, Dr. Fred Che Asamoah, also emphasizes on the need to make use of the skills sectors to ensure good collaboration between them.
The emphasis is to make sure that we can have a good collaboration between the supply side and the demand side, because after you finish training, they need to be employed. And if they can be employed, the employer needs to determine the type of people they want to employ them. And all the countries have been able to do well when they get the right people to support their work. To be able to see, you are either providing a service or a product. Every company does that. And if you don't meet the demand of your customers, you don't meet the quality they want, and the precision, there has to always be precision in what people do. So that is why we are emphasizing on it.
Senior Project Manager at GIZ, Sebastian Wens, is calling on the private sector to play a pivotal role in the curriculum making process.
Industry, the private sector and other industries. And the industry plays a very important role when it comes to absorbing TVET graduates from pre-tertiary TVET institutions. So one can say that they are the end users of technical vocational education and training. Now, in order to make sure they will be employed by the private sector and by other industries, the private sector needs to play a pivotal role in, for example, developing the occupational standards.
The growing interest in technical and vocational education and training (TVET) in Ghana reflects a positive shift towards addressing the skills gaps in various sectors. For Joy News, I am Jacqueline Ansuma Iyaboa.
Now, Vice President Dr. Mahama says the government has so far distributed a total of 100 million cedis to 3,000 beneficiaries under the YouStart program. This was reviewed by the Vice President at the 2023 YouStart Grant Expo at the UPSC Auditorium on Thursday. Dr. Bawumia says this is in fulfillment of the government's promise to reduce unemployment. My colleague James Avaji has more in the following report.
The YouStart initiative under the auspices of the Ghana Enterprise Agency is part of the government's agenda to train and support the youth in entrepreneurship and job creation. Since its piloting in 2021, the program has come under public criticism over allegations of corruption and favoritism. But speaking at the 2023 YouStart Grant Expo at the UPSC Auditorium in Accra, CEO of the Ghana Enterprise Agency, Kosi Yankiayi, dismissed the assertions as untrue.
But I just want to also explain that the process we went through was very transparent. It was very important for us to bring on board quality assessors such as PricewaterhouseCoopers, bring on board BDS providers to ensure that every step of the way we're in alignment with what the World Bank funding was supposed to achieve.
Delivering the keynote address, Vice President Dr. Magbun Bawumia touted the Akufo-Addo government record in job creation. He revealed that the government has created some 2.1 million jobs over the last 7 years in office.
Our government over the last 7 years has created 2.1 million jobs. This is the highest number of jobs created by any government since the Fourth Republic, and probably since independence over this period. No government in the Fourth Republic has created this number of jobs in this period. Notwithstanding, and all of this is under very trying circumstances since 2020.
Now, the Emerging Public Leaders of Ghana, EPL Ghana, says it is poised to groom young graduates for the job market. This, according to the managers of the fellowship program, will help to reduce unemployment among the youth in Ghana. Country Director for EPL Ghana, Madam Juliet Adime Amwa, made this known at an event to acknowledge its partners and mark the EPL Ghana's 5 years of operation and making a difference in producing public leaders. Caleb Mensah was at the event and has more in the following report.
Emerging Public Leaders of Ghana is a public sector fellowship program instituted 5 years ago. It is aimed at developing skills and leadership potentials of young Ghanaian professionals to enhance their contribution to public service. The program is designed to provide fellows with practical experience, training, and mentorship opportunities within various government agencies and departments. Madame Juliet Adime Amwa is the country director. She throws more light on how far the fellowship program has come.
Right, Emerging Public Leaders of Ghana is 5 years old. We've celebrated our 5 years anniversary. We marked that anniversary on the 5th of September this year, and we launched what we called the 5 years of celebrating impact and in looking at the change that we've inspired in the public sector. Tonight is a culmination of that. We know that over the last 5 years, we've worked with different partners. We've worked with the Office of the Head of Civil Service. We've partnered with the National Service Secretariat. We've partnered with mentors. There have been supervisors who have helped our young people who are usually between the age of 18 and 35.
The West Africa Civil Society Institute is a key partner of the EPL Ghana. The Finance and Administration Officer, Charles Mbugri, described their partnership with EPL Ghana over the last 5 years as a successful one.
Partnership with EPL has been very successful. It's been helpful to us. WAXI is an organization that have a lot to work with. And the team that joined us from EPL have been very helpful to us. We got 7 fellows from EPL this year, and they've all been busy working with us, supporting us to achieve our strategic objective for this year.
A deputy director from the Ministry of Information, Kelvin Elikem Kofika, also shared how the government has collaborated with EPL as a mentor for young graduates.
It's wonderful working with these young gentlemen and ladies because the selection process is very rigorous and the best out of the rest are chosen, so it's wonderful working with them. My relationship with them has been very good. As a Ministry of Information, we've had about 3 EPL fellows we've worked with in the past, and they bring a lot onto the table. I remember a few of them would come and you just be able to write cabinet memos, and it takes a lot of training for you to be able to write these things, but they easily adapt. They are very intelligent and it's easy to work with them. I want to say that in the next decade or 2, I really see EPL making a lot of impact, and their impact will really be felt when we have them in numbers in the Ghana Civil Service.
The event was used to acknowledge and award partners and other key stakeholders who have journeyed EPL Ghana for the past 5 years. The rationale was to celebrate their immense contribution to enhancing quality public service delivery in Ghana. Caleb Mensah's report read to you.
Now, the governing New Patriotic Party will this weekend hold parliamentary primaries in 113 constituencies to select candidates for the 2024 elections. Director of Elections with the party, Evans Nimako, says all is set for a free, fair and transparent election. More from the party in the following report.
BMA Central constituency appears to be an interesting seat. Both the NDC and MPP have won it 4 times each, so the 2024 elections will be a make or break for either party. Ebenezer Nate won the seat for the MPP in 2016 but succumbed to defeat in 2020 to the NDC. He is once again considered a front runner in the upcoming race. But presidential staffer Jefferson Saki says he is the best man to win back the seat for the governing MPP, and he has a strong backing from the constituency.
When I was growing, I saw him on TV. So personally, I like him the way he's calm and humble. So when he came to the constituency, I see him as somebody who can bring people together, and he's been loved by all.
Jefferson Saki has implemented several welfare-centered projects and programs, and that has drawn him to a lot of the constituent.
I witnessed the Jefferson Healthcare on 10th March 2023. He thinking of the well-being of the delegates, especially with their health. If someone does not have the health insurance card, it means when the person goes to the hospital and the person doesn't have money, then the person is heading to the gateway of his or her death.
Just recently, there was an assault case which had to be with one of the polling stations executive. We took him to the Mamprobi Polyclinic, and with the health insurance, we were able to go through the whole thing. I think the amount we paid was 10 cedis.
I'm a beneficiary of Jefferson Saki's educational support. I had a scholarship to further my master's education at University Institute of Distance Learning. Yes, I had an amount of 10,000 Ghana cedis, which was to pay for my tuition for my master's degree.
He is regarded as the one to win the seat for the party by these constituents.
3
other contenders, Lawrence Anyete Ejay, Brako Amwafo Samuel, and Collins Amwa, are also laying claim to being the best people to lead a party in the BMA Central constituency into the 2024 elections. The question still remains, who will lead the NPP in the 2024 parliamentary elections in one of Ghana's swing constituencies? Samuel Kojo Brace, Joy News, BMA Central.
Joining us on the line now is the MPP Deputy General Secretary Mohammed Haruna. Grateful to you for joining us, sir. We understand that all is set for the election. Is that it? So we have Mohammed Haruna. Mohammed, I'm trying to find out from you, is everything set for the election tomorrow?
Yes, my brother. Everything is set for tomorrow across all the 16 regions of Ghana.
Walk us through the process for tomorrow.
Tomorrow, election starts at 7 a.m. and then close at 2 p.m. Security matters on the elections is solely to be handled by the Ghana Police Service. Election conduct, procedure, and everything is going to be handled by the Electoral Commission of Ghana. The various constituency elections committee will assist the Electoral Commission to be able to have this particular activity done smoothly. All regional executive bodies have been directed to supervise the elections with one national officer assigned to each region. All regions have assigned one person each to each of the constituencies that we are going to run this primary across the country. All in all, we had 113 constituencies. 111 will be going through a competitive election. One will be doing acclamation, and then one for Elembele has also been added to the constituency on hold. Election materials has been dispatched by the Electoral Commission through the police, and all electoral materials except delegates has been informed, venues has been booked, and arrangements has been done for elections to start exactly at 7 tomorrow.
All right, grateful to you for joining us, and all the best for tomorrow. Now, to other stories now. The European Union ambassador to Ghana, Richard Razali, has stated that funds that have been allocated to the Midday National Park is not only about protecting the animals, but also to support the fringe communities to improve their livelihoods, as well as the European Union as well. Now, the European Union has doled out over 1.5 million euros to the national park for the implementation of the Maize and Seed project. Under the project, several range camps have been constructed for the rangers and the forestry guards equipped with logistics such as vehicles, communication devices, and uniforms. Joy News correspondent Rafiq Salam was at the Midday National Park in the Savannah region, where the donation of the items took place, and our reports.
The Midday National Park is one of Ghana's 7 national parks. It is the country's longest wildlife refuge that was established over 60 years ago. The park is one of the prime sites for the biodiversity conservation program in Ghana and is home to several animal species. Notable among them are the elephants and buffaloes. Over the years, there have been concerns about the survival of these animals, especially the elephants. The park is fringed by over 33 communities whose dependence on the wildlife without replenishing to meet socio-economic needs has gradually led to significant decline of the resources in the area. Concern about the plight of the animals and the over 40,000 people living on the fringes of the park, the Maize and Seed projects funded by the European Union came into being. The twin projects are aimed at equipping the rangers and the guards with equipment and logistics to prevent the killing of the animals by poachers, and also to economically empower the people living on the fringes of the park. Both projects are expected to end by the close of the year. European Union Ambassador to Ghana, Ashad Razali, threw further light on the projects.
The MIC is equipping the young men and rangers with the skills and the logistics. We have heard what it is about: surveillance range camp units, field posts that I had the honor to commission today, 4x4 vehicle, radios, uniforms to perform their function as law enforcers through surveillance and patrolling the park. This program, the MIC program, has been around since 2021 and is expected to end by the close of this year. The other brother SIP program is to support the management of the park resources meaning its flora and fauna, the animals and the flowers through the development of the management and support to the fringe communities.
You're watching Joy News today. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with business. To stay.
Now, some cocoa farmers are questioning the effectiveness of the National Mass Spraying Program, citing concerns about delays, uneven distribution and inadequacy. They claim that the distribution and release of subsidized farm inputs are contingent on personal connections, often referred to as whom you know. Now, the farmers believe a reduction in the exorbitant cost of farm inputs would afford them access and not rely on overdue spraying programs. Here's Clinton's Yeboah's report.
As we celebrate the bravery and the resilience of our farmers across the country in this year's Farmers' Day, it is worthy to note that some farmers across all sectors of the agriculture sector are still battling menial challenges as they go about their daily activities. Ghana has over the years had to deal with the ineffective control of pests and diseases such as swollen shoot and the black pod, posing obstacles to achieving high cocoa yields. The government in 2001 instituted measures to meet the growing future demands of the cocoa industry with the aim of increasing and sustaining cocoa yields. Despite these efforts, cocoa farmers say delayed and insufficient supply of fertilizer adversely impacted their yields.
Truly, the fertilizers from the mass spraying is not good and it doesn't come. He gave groups 300 sacks instead of 1,200. It's only an act of grace that we didn't lose everything. I couldn't get 2 bags for my 3-acre farm. The challenges are overwhelming.
The farmers also say the unprecedented rise in production cost and irregular distribution of inputs made the mass spraying intervention unreliable.
The fertilizers have not come. When they do, the mass sprayers just spray a sachet. Currently, the distribution has been politicized. It now works on whom you know. Why can't they use Cocoa Association members for the distribution? The fertilizers, when it comes to the mass spraying, it's always discriminatorily shared.
Council Chairman of Cocoa Abrabopa Association, Ishmael Pomesi, is appealing to the Ghana Cocoa Board to strengthen its productivity enhancement programs and ensure timely release and distribution of subsidized inputs.
Most of the trees were unable to perform well because we starve the trees. The trees need nutrients, and nutrients come from the fertilizer Cocoa Board also, give to the farmers. And then last year, they can testify, the volume of fertilizer that came out was very minimal. And if the trees are not getting enough nutrients through the fertilizer, it affects the pulse that we expect to see on the trees. So they also undertake a lot of productivity enhancement programs like pollination, mass pruning, which has also come to a standstill. We are appealing to them to also strengthen it, because for the trees to also give the best of the nutrients, pulse on the tree, these interventions are very necessary, and we have to strengthen it and let farmers benefit from it.
Cocoa is the chief agricultural export of Ghana, and these farmers are suggesting that to recoup the benefits, it is important that they consider the mentioned plights. Reporting for Joy News, Clinton Yeboah.
The Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management is making a strong case for a conducive environment for employees to explore opportunities. The institute is of the view that even though the current economic challenges is affecting the working population, workers must be professional in their line of duty. Here's more.
The institute in 2023
2023 had a total of 1,125 students across the country write the exams. Meanwhile, 316 students graduated after the professional certification exams. Dr. Kwapon entreated the HR practitioners to be more strategic.
May I urge you, the graduates, to go out there to practice as professionals rather than academics. Industry, while admiring excellent grammar, is more interested in the practical solution. Be proficient, all right, but more professional in your practice and conduct. We expect that you will hold this certificate with pride and dignity and be a good ambassador and standard bearer of this institute wherever you find yourself.
Minister for Education Yao Osei Educhum called on the HR practitioners to be more innovative.
We are caught up in this African mediocrity syndrome where we say we are better than this country, we are better than that country, and then we relax. We are not challenging ourselves. Every day at the Ministry of Education, we are challenging ourselves and say, why can't we create a Singaporean education model? Why should our public schools not outperform all other schools in the country? Why is it that in our curriculum in this country, history has been taken out? Now it's coming back, and I'm so excited that history is coming back to Ghana. The young ones who took courses in science don't know how Ghana became independent. So if you talk about Ghanaian youth are not patriotic, how can you be patriotic about a country that you don't know? You don't know the sacrifices that some people made for our nation to become independent. So you take things for granted. For unknown reasons, we changed something in this country.
The 15th graduation ceremony was under the theme Making Tertiary and Professional Education Count in the World of Work.
That's it for business.
Let's do the showbiz now. And 25 stakeholders in the tourism sector have received various awards at this year's edition of the National Tourism Awards. The program, held at the Accra International Conference Center, also marked the 50th anniversary of the Ghana Tourism Authority. Dubbed the honorary edition, the award ceremony appreciated the sterling contributions of people in the tourism sector. My colleague Kwame Daze has more.
It was a night of arts, culture and entertainment when stakeholders of the tourism value chain met last night for the 2023 edition of the National Tourism Awards. Various awards were presented to people in areas like tourism investment, arts, tour guiding, tour operation and academia. The Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Dr. Mohammed Awar, in his address, charged players in the tourism ecosystem to pay critical attention to customer service.
The surveys that have been done over the last 1 year, poor customer service is our biggest problem in this country. Not just hospitality and tourism, it's across. But we are very, very important in terms of bringing tourists to the country within and outside. I therefore want to urge hotel owners, restaurant owners, hospitality owners, everybody, tour operators, everybody in the tourism value chain, please wage a war on poor customer service. And GTA, please, next year, you must work together with the private sector to make sure that we improve customer care.
There were musical performances by Namanwa of Wulomefe, Kechi Kwame Apia, Ochiame Kwame, and Samini. The highlight of the event was the moment the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Akwasi Ajiman, was honored for his hard work and dedication towards tourism development in Ghana.
Minister Special Award to Mr. Akwasi Ajiman, CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority, for exemplary leadership in the tourism industry.
For Joy News, Kwame Dazi reporting.
And on that note, we wrap up today's edition of Joy News Today. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. My name is Samuel Kojo Braze. Up next is Marketplace. You'll have a great afternoon.